very dangerous. The top, a little bit less so, but still could change at the drop of a hat. We'll just have to wait and see as our teams are dropping in for the last time.
Goat realizes it though. They drop very differently down towards Minas del Sur here. I think they're expecting a hot drop, which is fair enough, all things considered. I think the teams likely were looking for that, and the team in particular would be in a circle. They don't really have anything to lose. They're the only team that can catch up at this point in time. So Goat don't even want to risk it, right? As long as they get 5 or 6 points and then just basically hope the inner circle don't get a 22, 23 point game, they're fine. They really are chilling. So I think for Goat, they just need to play it slow. The fact that D+ are down here though is a little bit odd. That is a shift and a half as well towards the north side of the map.
Ooh, that's tasty. Up onto the north side. Hey, it's Tianba in a middle circle. Maybe, why not? You know what? I'm still holding out for the Team Secret chicken dinner as well to cap things off. The gap between first and second place right now, Blank, is 23 points. And Team Secret have 26 points. It's really bad. Not good at all. Very disappointing. Unfortunate stuff. So it'd be good to just close down on a little bit of a high, even if it is a commiseration victory. But I'm sure the other teams will certainly say that they deserve it more, that they want it more, because it is so important. You can see those tables on the right-hand side. With IC, the only team that can realistically catch up to Goat. Gen G with an outside chance. Oh, maybe with a miracle.
The thing is that the Goat has absolutely caused a big problem for themselves, right? with this circle on the north side. It is a long journey for them. And inner circle didn't even go for it. So I think for Goat here, it's a bit of a problem, because you got to get through 9Z, you got to get through APG, D+ are all around here as well. 9Z is going to fight to the bitter end, knowing they're right on the precipice. D+ is not an easy team to push through. Neither is Alpha Gaming. So Goat might have caused themselves more problems than they fixed by moving down towards the south side.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's tough, but to be honest, it's unlikely, because of where the circle is, that you're going to have to push through these teams, right? They're going to want to get away as well. But it is when you get to the circle, sure, that they might be lining that zone and making things a lot harder. No casualties just yet. So hot drops, nah, they didn't happen. And I feel like thinking that teams towards the bottom of the table should hot drop, I absolutely oppose that. I think that there's too many moving parts down at the bottom. You drop on, you know, if Reject say drop on GS or 9ZG, they lose a player, and all of a sudden, GS are hunting them down, OG are hunting them down, and they're at a disadvantage. I think you just play your game as best you can. I see maybe they should go for that hot drop, right? They're the only team that could realistically gain a lot and lose not too much by going for that hot drop, as what basically the only team that could jump onto Goats. But Goats, obviously, they know what's up.
You basically lose nothing. Like, Gen G would need to have a 17-8 elim match and a chicken dinner to make that catch up. So I think for inner circle, it's not even a case if you don't lose too much, you just don't lose anything by going for that. Other than potentially losing two or one players, right? 1 or 2 players. At that point, yeah, you've ruined your chances, but you gave it a good go. And you potentially basically put a line in the sand of what target you need to hit there. But we're taking a look at some of our teams towards the bottom. Loops, I think they're safe. In fact, they're absolutely safe. Maybe they're absolutely... I think it would require a lot. Yeah. It would require a lot. It would require a lot.
3 teams to do really well in the spots beneath them. But, I mean, GS, they've started out well, right? They've got another point now. 9ZG not feeling so happy, and 9ZG as well, all the way down to that southwest side. And GS, they are slap bang in the middle of this circle. But very different scenarios for these 2 teams. Only 4 points behind now with that Elim bound GS. They might just be able to do it. They might be able to squeak through.
Some good shots coming through from Tiamba here, but no dice on the knocks just yet. Trying to take those shots, but not finding them. Another high ground outpost found by GS. They will should be able to get a player over there eventually. In the meantime, we've got Alter Ego hanging around on the eastern side. They can't make it either. This becomes a bit of a weird game where a lot of teams realize that we're going to last chance whether we like it or not. So they're going to play a very slow game. For Falcons, immediately taken down by Wolves as Doran crashes directly through him.
Leave cover low, but Redox is there. They were too preoccupied with confirming that flush. There's still one or two more players going. Doran does take a lot of damage there as well. Over the ridgeline, Redox has another reload going as well. It connects one more, but it's not quite enough to finish the job. At range now, is just sneaking away from him, but there is some damage done back towards the Wolves. But both of these two teams, middle of the pack teams right now, extracting points from one another, which crucially means that they're not going to the teams on the bubbles.
It's good. Again, it always gets a little bit weird towards this final match where teams aren't really playing up to par because there's honestly nothing left to play for. I think for Wolves, Falcons, Alter Ego, these three teams, potentially even Gen G, I'd say more than likely Gen G, all those teams know that they've secured their position. There's no reason to push much further than this. What's asked of them is absolutely a calamitous approach to this lobby. There's get like 20 elims on the game. That's hard. That's very hard. And the chicken dinner to finish off. And those things happen naturally. I don't think you can artificially force those games. It's a case where, we get a good first initial fight. We ran into a third party here. That team's fighting there. We can third party that as well. Sony on 14, and then you can start to bump up the points from there. But yeah, it doesn't happen by a team just taking fight after fight after fight because it's just not possible.
And it doesn't happen if Loops are going to take you down. 2 knocks on the approach. Alter Ego, they're just going to ram straight into a brick wall, but Snape and Alva still alive. Rafinha on the inside with a mini 14 at close range, acting like a shotgun bow, and goes for the flush as well before Alva turns the corner. He's out of ammo completely though, Blank. He needs to rely on his teammates and Rafinha. Oh my goodness me. That looks pretty. But no, do shut him down. Loop, stay alive. Alter Ego close down their tournament. 105. They're going to last chance, but they will not go to finals.
Yeah, there's been some weird plays from Alter Ego towards the end of this. Honestly, again, that sort of felt like we're going to last chance. That's it. We're going to last chance phase. Type of fight there. We head over towards credit fields. Nice bit of high ground to play around with. Wolves can play in there as well, but Tiamba in that position. Where's OG?
Where is OG? I don't know. Blue zone somewhere. Lost track of the
very close to getting knocked as well.
Yeah, I think that might be coming through. That's hopefully being healed up. Yeah, okay. They've got some meds, so getting top back up. But yeah, that's a long way from the circle. We'll see when they appear. I mean, they started over on the southeast side, down towards Impala and Truck Stop. Yeah, so I guess they're just looting for ages.
Yeah, now they're getting to the zone now. That's a long journey. Very, very long journey to take. Reject coming through, taking a pretty swift rotation on the southeast side of things. This is around Loops, who, in those final moments, yep, they're able to make it happen, get into last chance. Reject don't really want to take shots at them too early here. For Reject, they are 12 points behind 9Z, who are coming in from the south side. And it's quite a safe path for 9Z as well. A lot of areas that they can deny sightlines from and stay undercover, under wraps as they move into this circle. Most of the most prominent positions are already taken towards the center here. So 9Z can play a very secretive game going forwards.
Unfortunately, though, they're close to D+, which is going to make things a lot harder when they inevitably clash with them. The hills in the middle of this zone are really dominant in terms of sightlines, Blank, and that's where Wolves sit right now. I think if I'm any team that surrounded them, I'm worried about it. The access from the north side is the easiest approach, and that's where Igor is going to be starting out. Reject. Ooh, they've been spotted. They've taken a knock here. An APG They just won't leave him alone. This is playground bully levels.
It's hard to get Sarah back up as well. I would 100% say Sarah is probably the best player on that squad. Him going down here is a massive nail in the coffin. Or Reject if they can't get him back into the fight. I don't even think they're going to try for it. They have to just basically ask him to crawl into cover, and maybe then they can grab him. But even so, APG is going to be ready to pick him up quite quickly, and Ziol does exactly that. And with that, I would say the chances for Reject are becoming very, very slim. OG finally makes their way into the circle through water treatment. Team that desperately needs a large game now to get into last chance or risk getting taken out of the tournament here and now in the bottom 5.
Ooh. Well, that circle certainly helps. They need 11 points to catch up to 9ZG, but that assumes that 9ZG don't get any points this match, Blank. We'll see if D+ can ruin their day. Help out OG just about skin through. GS, though, still another roadblock in the way. That's what we were talking about before, right? There's so many moving parts down at the lower end of these tables that you can't just go for one team and target them and take them out the running and hope that you can catch up after that. Because there's about 4 teams really chasing for 9ZG's spot, and then a 5th team if you include 9ZG as well. It's definitely not something that you can just allow to happen. Losing a player like this, other teams get a massive benefit for it.
It's a nice spot for Reject. It's a shame they're not here with 4 players. Tianba in a very similar location off towards their north side. Tianba and Reject, you know, clasping hands right now. Bottom of the tables, just trying to make it happen. Ralph takes a knock there. That is from Papra Supermassive. Tron B able to find that one. Dropping Falcons now down to just 2.
Putting Papra Supermassive up on 99. Anywhere over 100 is where we were saying that safety zone is, right? In terms of getting to that last shot stage guaranteed. And I think they're going to be able to do a little bit more than that if Team Secret continue to allocate points to their tally. And crucially, not to the teams around the bubbles. Oh, goodness me. It is a little bit lackluster for our teams on the bubble so far, but it is Miramar. This generally moves to the late game. Papra Supermassive want that century. They will claim it with Xerus as that final triple-digit maker.
Go thread the needle, by the way. Pretty good rotate. They just get to the south side of Papra Supermassive and Team Secret at the moment in a fairly decent position as well. They find a shot over towards Wolves. And I think that it's going to be hard to assault that position. I feel like because GOAT was able to grab that spot with near to no casualties, basically no utility required to get into that position as well, their inner circle's life now becomes really hard. To catch up to them whilst they're sat here, it's very difficult. I think that GOAT's going to remain in the circle for quite a while as well off the back of that. It's not looking promising for inner circle.
We'll see what this next stage brings, though. The circle will show itself in about 10 seconds now, Blank. A lot of teams on that north side, so potential that they want to use that as an approach route. See, D+ went for a wide wrap around that east edge, Blank. And on that north side, they're pushing now in towards Gen G with OG poking their noses in. And you're right. I think this might be GOAT having a real solid time. And if Falcons give them 2 points, that's going to make Inner Circle's life so much harder as well. Now, Valo goes very, very low, does go down. Redox now finds one, turns it over now to Killer Joe, who is in this building, looks for the pump action, and he's good for it. Uh-oh, GOAT lose a player. They haven't been able to find an Elim just yet. Now, Valo's still alive. Is there a third party?